Hello. This is kind of like an intermediate video between like now and more of a final release. But this is a Babble demo um, of kind of what we've been working on for the past few months. Um, and we've kind of improved our approach to generating synthetic data. We've improved our approach to um, augmenting the images and also just general training speedups as well as model architectures we've been experimenting with to kind of make things faster and better. We have a finally more formal app per se, but you know, um, there's still a lot of work to be done. But I hadn't made a video in a while, specifically for Babel, so I kind of wanted to make that. In terms of improvements, if you've been on the Babel server, if not, I'll leave a link in the description. But there have been multiple improvements. For one, now we have a new calibration button. I'm not using calibration right now. It takes a little bit of time to calibrate everything, but it works to varying degrees of success depending on the model and the setup and the person. But we do have calibration now to an extent. The next thing is there's improvements to general model robustness in the sense that, for example, we weren't able to do certain things with the old model that this model can now do. Sad face. And also, one of the things I'm most proud of and also surprised most for the results, because I didn't believe the model was going to be able to do this, was actually full tongue support. Well, first, before that, let me do like... So yeah, we have dual cheeks. We have tongue. We also have nostril flare. It's a little bit hard to see, but the nostril does move a little bit. And by sort of getting the camera more centered, we can get better results and also more focused lighting. My lighting's very, how do I say it, like ambient right now. But the model was trained on both ambient lighting settings, but more so focused lighting settings, like where you would be using, the like RR LEDs or something. So yeah, that would be kind of like more of that setting. So yeah, it's very expressive. Certain shapes for sure. There we go, kind of like a jaw left right. It's having a little bit of trouble there, but for the most part, it works really well. And obviously, we'll be making improvements, based on user feedback, because of course, like it might be because, for example, none of the data in currently has beards, so like my little like stubble might be screwing it up or something. But generally, it's a very expressive model. Um, yeah, let's do tongue then. So for tongue, we have tongue out. Ah. That's so weird to me that the tongue works as well as it does. I mean, it's not as robust as other shapes, but tongue works, which is fantastic, and I know we'll be improving that in the future. This was kind of like a stab at Meta for not including tongue, and also there were some requests in the VRCFT community, and also we're currently I think we have the most shapes in terms of just the mouth, because of the tongue shapes. So yeah, I mean, there's that. What else? Like, hmm. This model, I believe, was trained with 300 million. No, not 300 million. Sorry, 300,000 images. We have a million image data set on the way, but ideally, we do want to figure out ways to reduce the amount of images. We're also experiencing or experimenting with like landmarking models where we put points on your face via another neural network, and then another neural network takes those points that the other neural network found and converts them into what do you call it? Like blend shapes, like how we're doing here. So it'd be a two-step process rather than a single-step process, and we kind of hope that that'll increase both robustness because landmarks are generally more robust than just straight up using images, because you're extracting features based on the landmarks rather than just having the neural network sort of figure it out and what parts of the image where to extract features from and where to focus attention to, all of those sorts of things. But yeah, so with that, we should hopefully get some sort of um, like those sorts of things. Landmarks might be useful. Also, we've added multi-views. So old models, like the really old models, did not have multi-view. So if I go like this, for example, if I go like so, even from like a relatively extreme angle, like if I go even if I go closer, like I mean, you can see in some of those cases, certain things don't perform as well, which is to be expected. But the fact that it's even capable of generalizing to such extreme angles is kind of insane. Um, I mean, like in this scenario, you can see the mouth is tilted because, well, kind of is. Um, but it can still infer what's going on like the other side of my face, even if it's not a, great approximation. So if I like, so I can sort of tell, which I find fascinating. Um, so that's sort of like, you know, very rough, inferring is really cool, and yeah, that's kind of it. I hadn't made a video in so long, and I was like, I don't know, what exactly to do about that. So I decided to make one.